Hi everyone! So today I found this quest called Wayfarer's Reverie, the Far North, and decided to play through it. Luckily it was actually really fun, so if you are interested in looking for a quest that would bridge between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, this is one of them. And you'll see why. It'll be a little bit fast because it took around 2 hours for me to get through all of it. So the point of this quest is that we need to go look through all these certain points in the map, or in Isle North, and it's like a checklist of places that are significant in the game. And it looks like the rewards include like 2007 platinum and 2012 experience, and I believe that is like the time span between when they announced Guild Wars 2. So here's the dialogue. I've always loved red iris flowers ever since I was a girl. I keep this garden for reasons I can't fully explain, perhaps to keep a little of my home alive in these harsh lands. It's amazing to me that something so fragile could blossom here in this earth. When I look at this garden, I see what I lost and what we all lost, but when the iris flower blooms, I see hope. If these flowers can survive, then so will we. The greatest forest can become cinders with a tiny spark. The Char knew this, and they sought to stamp out our memories of home when they seared Ascalon. But what those beasts did not realize is that new life will always spring, and like a plant shoot, I am still standing, still fighting for a life beyond this. Someday Ascalon's fields will bloom again, and the scent of smoke in my nostrils will be the scent of clean air. People will come to the lush congresses of my home, and they will know that the blood of heroes allowed the new life to spring forth. That is the future that I will have, but now we have work still to do. Come, the journey is long. See, Gwen is not so bad when she's in her own space, but most of the time she's pretty difficult. I just actually finished through the last part in War in Kryda, where Karen Thackeray was trying to ask her to have a date with him for her birthday at this garden of hers, and she just flat out rejected him, and I felt quite bad. She should have stuck with him. I think she would have been a lot happier if she had a guy to help her out. And here we're in Drakkar Lake. We are supposed to be looking for the I can't figure it out. We're going to the center of the Drakkar Lake, and there isn't really anything here other than all the bosses in Drakkar Lake, but in the middle, people have been talking, like theorizing about this dragon, this thing in the lake that looks like a dragon. If you look underneath, it looks like it's frozen underneath the water. So people have been thinking that it might be one of the elder dragons that is part of Guild Wars 2, which is actually a pretty cool like theory. It's like Isle North came out and there's just this humongous lake with a massive amount of monsters, and you don't even know why there is a dragon frozen underneath here. So that's a cool theory. Maybe it will show up in Guild Wars 2, maybe it already has, and some people have already fought it, but it's pretty crazy that there is a lake built on top of a dragon. So there's Drakkar Lake, and now we have to head to Bajora's Marshes, where we're looking for the bear shrine. The shrine of the bear spirit. And along the way I hit this group of stone summit smashers. These are the guys who are the enemies to the dwarves. And I'm not really sure, maybe it was part of a quest because they had some dialogue going on that I probably haven't finished yet. I don't know, I have a lot of quests that I haven't finished yet, and it kind of adds to my monster count on every map, so probably need to work on that. There seems to be a lot of ties with this festival quest to Guild Wars 2, so I thought it was really interesting. And I mean, since I'm pretty much done with the game, I really don't have much else to do. And when I found this quest, maybe I don't know when it started and when it released, but I don't think I have seen this guy in a while, or I've seen him in Eye of the North, because that was the first time I saw him. Usually run to the guy in the middle with another quest. And here is the Shrine of the Bear Spirit. The Bear Spirit is supposed to appear in the bottom in the middle, I believe, but I'm not sure why he didn't for this. Maybe I already finished the quest. And now we're in Dalada Uplands, where we're supposed to visit the Strange Ridge on the western side near the lake, or like near a small swamp area. Which is interesting. I found an NPC there. It was a Jinlai NPC, and it was in Great Temple of Balthazar. I was talking to, when I was doing the Warren Kreida picnic items, I was talking to the Jinlai baker, and he was talking about how they actually had a huge system of Jinlai agents. And here he is. It's Jinlai investigator John Foe. Is it memories that bring you here, or do you seek a glimpse into the future? Today those desired are linked, for disasters heroically averted are just as important as those that now seem predestined. Both shape a world that will need heroes again and again, as far ahead as prophecy can foretell. If I judge you correctly, you've had a profound impact on the course of history, but history walked before us and will march forward long after you and I. May the story of your deeds inspire those who must defend this world from cataclysm after we are gone. They will need equally as much courage to save their own generation. So, that is actually pretty cool that he's there, kind of giving a little bit foreshadowing with why this thing is here. I'm not really sure what it looks like. Does anyone... could it be like a dragon spine or something? Or maybe it's an area that will show up in Guild Wars 2, because I don't remember seeing this when I was exploring Eye of the North. But it looks pretty cool. It was so cool that I wanted to go get another look at it. And then I ended up having to fight all these high-level scale things that kept using Shroud of Silence on me and making it hard for me to attack. Like, they would disable my skills, so I'd have to run back and have my heroes help me out. Yeah, I never explored this area when I was playing Eye of the North. Maybe they added it over time. Because on this map it was even unexplored for me. Like, all the fuzzy stuff started disappearing when I was walking around it. And I really wanted to go on top of it. I don't think you can actually go on there to see what's up. And I also should have brought a capping signet, because there is an elite warrior boss down here. So that would have been kind of fun to just cap a skill. I really like the swamp and the flowers. I wouldn't mind chilling at this kind of place. And I think the warrior boss is up in here in this little vista. But this is the scar, the strange ridge that's in Dalada Uplands. I want to go up there. It's not fair that they didn't let us go up there. So next we need to go down to Saknath Valley, into the burning forest. And every time I try to go into this forest, I always get owned. But that's because I always forget to bring Extinguish with me on my monk, or any of my monk heroes, and then right now I'm running a minion master hero, or Olivia has a minion master skill build, and yeah, having minions is not the smartest thing when you are attacking AoE fire elementals. So I always got owned here. And this is some quest that I haven't finished yet. It's like, it's like a 12,000 experience quest that you gain. It's either 12,000 or 25,000, but this quest is really hard. I always get owned and wipe every single time. And then it's not like one wipe. I always get owned to the point where I have to map because my DP is way too high. I always end up with 60% DP, and once they throw out one fire AoE, every one of my characters is dead. So yeah, those chars ended up aggroing me after the cutscene, or the text, and then I get owned by all these elementals. Even that flowstone elemental looks freaky, the dark red elemental guy. Yeah, that's not fun. And I hate those magma blisters. They have some healing, and it's so hard to kill them when they're healing. I don't know, it's just not good. And here we go, we are in Riven Earth. And we're supposed to be visiting the golem site. At least this one is pretty chill to get to. But the thing with Riven Earth, it reminds me of a name in Lord of the Rings, for some reason. Maybe because I'm probably just thinking of Middle Earth. Asurland. I kind of wish I explored this place a little more. I know later down the road we end up going to the Raptor area where everyone farms there. So I never really got into the Asura area, and it's really funny because in Guild Wars 2 the areas are actually pretty accurate. It's actually in the same spot. I actually didn't even play Asura in Guild Wars 2 that much. I just got to the character creation, but I didn't get into the story, like the first story. So maybe I should have, because Asurland in Guild Wars 2 is a lot bigger. So here we are. I didn't really know what to do here, other than it looks like I already got the quest updated, and you just need to check this thing out. I feel like they just added this so that we could see this area, and I feel like a lot of this festival event is just to revisit some key points in Eye of the North and link it to Guild Wars 2, because yes, this shows up in Guild Wars 2 for sure. And this is how long I haven't played. I didn't even know what this golem was for, but he follows you around. And here we are in Bloodstone Caverns, Bloodstone Caves, and we need to look for the Shivers Peak Bloodstone. And this is the last floor. It wasn't a difficult dungeon, but there are a lot of poison degens that you have to get through, poison degen traps and stuff. So if you have some good condition removals, you'll be fine. It was just funny because once I hit the main guy, the other guy started running along, and then he runs back because apparently it's out of his aggro area, his fighting circle. Yeah, I got my chest. I didn't even know that this was some sort of dungeon, because to get this part, you just run into the dungeon. But the first time I went here, I accidentally hit a dungeon mission kind of thing, and I turned all the way back because I couldn't finish this part of the quest with it activated. So, yeah, look at that guy. He freaking smacks me to death. So, this is one of the things I don't miss about being a monk. You just freaking get owned in like 2 hits. This guy would kill 75% of my health, but that's also because I didn't realize that I still had my hero's flag back there at my pulling point. So he eventually goes down, and then I eventually get my treasure. Which is an onyx gemstone. So that was cool. It's way better than the gifts that I get at the snowman cave, but pretty much go there to get alcohol. Now I head to Arbor Bay, and we're looking for the Ventari Sanctuary, which I've never been to, since it's fuzzy.
Oh great, another buka.
So here we're met with an Asura, with a nice Asura. And it's just a random little area in the middle of Arbor Bay, on a little island surrounded by water. And here we have Ronan. If you remember him from Prophecies, he was the guy who lost his family, his wife and his kids, and he ended up finding, there's a lot of history that you'll find from the characters in this area about Ronan, and also in Guild Wars, in the Guild Wars Wikipedia, which is really interesting because he does play a really important part in Guild Wars 1 that bridges over to Guild Wars 2. So he talks about that this area kind of brought him a little bit of peace after all the things that happened, and it's kind of like a lot, like they all talk about rebirth in this area and finding yourself. So this centaur, I believe he's bugged because I talked to him and he doesn't say anything. And this lady, Alicina, there's some who you call this running away, but you can't teach a man anything once he is dead. Only by living can we secure a better tomorrow. If peace does not come in our time, then it will come in our children's. What is important now is that we are walking a path that will lead to salvation. And that's pretty crazy when she says you can't teach a man once he's dead, which is actually really true. So, I know, profound, very profound.
Report in.
The writers put a lot of time in this area for sure. and a materials vendor, a materials NPC, which sells pretty expensive materials at a really cheap price. And usually they don't have materials vendors and merchants in zone areas. So, foreshadowing a bit. His Ventari. The outside world is violent, a place where the seeds of chaos are sown with innocent tears. The only peace to be found is within the self. Forging the path of serenity from the mind to the heart is more difficult than any battle fought with steel. So I have a few questions, and I ask, what is this place? And he says, this place is home and haven. As bloodshed casts the shadows, we shelter beneath a place of solace. We live life as it was meant to be, in harmony and unity, regardless of race or caste. All are welcome. And I asked, what can you tell me about this tree? It is miraculous to believe that all of this began as merely a seed that Ronan gave me. He is an old acquaintance, one of the soldiers who fought the white mantle who slaughtered my people. Those battles cost him his wife and daughter. In his grief, he threw down his weapon. Perhaps he was looking for escape or a place to die, to end his suffering. There he lay a broken man, and in that moment he found the seed that would become all of this. And how did you come here? I had a home once, before this one, where I attempted to reconcile the differences between your people and my own. But centaurs are a proud race, fiery with passion and conviction. They would not see humans as their equal against the odds they fought. The humans rose to crush them, war consumed those lands, and my home with it. I made my way here to start anew. So this is a Ventari, and if you haven't figured it out yet, this is actually the Pale Tree, a few years after Prophecies. So Guild Wars 2 is set around 200 to 250 years after Guild Wars 1 ends. So this is pretty much the start of Guild Wars 2. A really good this is a really good start of the storyline bridging between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, and I'm sure a lot of Guild Wars 2 players would be really happy to go through this kind of stuff. So Guild Wars 1 players are in for a good surprise, especially if you're excited for both Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. Or especially if you're excited for Guild Wars 2 to release. So I got you've been playing for 3 hours, you should take a break notice. And I finally finished this this festival quest. And here it is, the ending dialogue from Festival Enthusiast Stare Wolf-Handed. 2007 experience, 2012 gold. And the Proof of Mountains. So, yay, cheers. And thank you for watching, guys. I'll have more videos on Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 1 up. So stay tuned. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.